I don't want them to gain another yard.
You blitz all night!
All right, everyone, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best of New York Giants sports talk in our town. I'm all fired up because of the wink still. It's a great thing. It's a great day. It's a wonderful day. I am excited about it. I'm not one of these fans that are taking unrealistic expectation that Wink is just going to fix the defense and everything's going to go fine. And we're going to go back to the days of to the 86 Giants defense while running the 3-4. Because we don't have the Banks. We don't have the Call. We don't have the Harry Carson. We don't have the Taylor. We don't have the Reasons. We don't have the Pepper Johnsons. We don't have the Eric Howard. We don't have the Jim Burt. You don't have the Leonard Marshalls. You don't have the George Martins. We don't have those guys. But you know what? We are going to go on the attack. And that's still what I'm excited about. I want to talk about a couple things that I've seen, articles, some stupidity that I've seen on Twitter. I also want to congratulate the guys over at the Black Rifle Coffee Company. Their company went public today on the New York Stock Exchange under the stock BRCC. So congratulations to them, even though they do not sponsor this channel. I hold no grudge, even though I talk about them all the time, as I'm sitting here drinking the last of my Headless Horseman Holiday Blend batch. Some of the greatest coffee I ever had. I want to talk about Kadarius Toney. I want to talk about putting a little pepper on the defense. I want to talk about the Twitter sphere. Now, writers have come out and written articles about under the radar trades players the Giants could trade. Kadarius Toney was one of them. Because he wasn't, I always love this stupidity. He wasn't drafted by the Shane, so they're going to get rid of him. That is one of the dumbest statements I've ever heard. He's got no attachment to him. He's got a contract. He's got a dead cap number of $11 million pre-June 1st. He's got a pre-June 1st dead cap number of $5 million. He's got a post-June 1st dead cap number of $7.5 million. He's got a post-trade value, our dead cap number, at 1.84. And then you're still going to incur a dead cap number. If you post-trade him, you're still going to accrue. I'm not even going to get into it. I'm not even going to get into it because it's just stupidity. You haven't even run a mini camp. You haven't ran an OTA. You haven't gotten in the training camp. The Shane and the Dable and the Kafka have not even installed an offense, and people are getting upset because some writers said, they could trade Kadarius Toney. Unless he's doing something monumentally stupid, Kadarius Toney, that we do not know behind the scenes, the Giants aren't going to get rid of him. The Giants aren't going to move on from him this early. He showed talent in the Dallas game. He showed that he could do. Like I said, I am not a big Kadarius Toney fan, but he's got to work on his route running 100%. He's got to find the ability to play more in control within himself. That's what he's got to do. And I love it because the article as well, an executive weighs in. Okay, why do the executives never put their name behind any of these things? That always makes it curious. An executive saying this. Okay, it's not coming from the Giants. So please stop on the Twitter sphere. I swear to God, my IQ must drop a quarter of a point anytime I type in twitter.com. Because some of this stuff is some of the dumbest crap that I've ever seen. Relax. Have a beer. It don't cost nothing. I want to talk about Mr. Peppers, the strong safety from the Giants. Out of Michigan. 25th overall pick in 2017. Came over in the Browns trade. Tore his Achilles back in week 7. And again, guys, Achilles injuries have nothing to do with the turf. Again, this is another stupid things I've seen on Twitter. It has nothing to do with the turf. It's a repetitive stress injury on the tendon, such as an explosive motion as pushing off repeatedly. You sometimes either overextend or you fray the tendon to the point that it snaps. It has nothing to do with the turf. It's not a knee injury. If I see one more person write on Twitter, we got to change the turf. Yeah, people don't like the Giants turf, but you know what? It's probably one of the safest turfs in the league. If you look at the injury history, but we're not going to get into that. So, of course, Peppers is off his contract. He's going to be a free agent. I'm not saying that the Giants need to go out and tag him because I think that would be stupid. And I think Deshane is not going to do things that our old buddy Dave Gettleman would do. And I don't think you should go out and give him Leonard Williams money. But if you are looking for a key piece to come back, if you're looking for a piece to the defense that can allow Wink to run certain things and have the ability, then you really got to look at Peppers. You really got to see if he is willing to come back. And maybe if he's willing to come back on a 1-year deal, because he is coming off the Achilles. Achilles injuries are tough to judge when you're going to come back. Lorenzo Carter had his injury back in training camp. And it really took him to the last 3-4 weeks of the season to show any type of explosiveness or the ability to come back from the injury. So, and Peppers had it at week 7. So that's like almost 10 weeks later than Carter had his initial injury, and we see how long it took for Carter to get back. So I'm not sure if he's going to be 100% full strength at start of training camp, which could be to our benefit because maybe he would be interested in taking the team-friendly deal and coming in. You know, he's been with the Giants now for the last 3 seasons. He had a good season in 2020, and 2020 is the reason why I want to really try to bring back Peppers, because of the fact that he played some ridiculous amount, like 67% of his snaps in the box. He was truly a strong safety / linebacker. Now, while you are never going to expect him to be a turnover machine, considering he's only got 4 interceptions since 17, or I should say he's got 4 interceptions for a total of his career, he is a guy that is a quasi linebacker. Now, we are going to need cover linebackers in this defense. We're going to have to go back to the way the Giants ran in '86, where you're going to have a couple cover guys in the linebacking core. People do not give Carl Banks and Lawrence Taylor enough credit for not only for their coverage skills beyond their rushing skills and an ability to stop their ball carrier. They don't get enough credit for that. So you're going to need a guy like Peppers to kind of fulfill a role in the Martindale defense. And I think, like I said, I don't want him to cover because I got Xavier McKinney for that. I have McKinney for that. So I can leave McKinney as into the free safety position. I can put Peppers in the strong safety position, strong safety / linebacker position. Then you could still rotate in Logan Ryan and Julian Love. And I think you can have a nice tandem. I'm not saying we should go out and draft a safety at 5 or 7. I love it because of the fact that we had been talking about positional value of the draft for, I would say, weeks. We've been talking about that before the Shane got hired. And I love it now because now that's everyone's big. That's because Shane used it the other day in a sentence how he looks at positional value in reference to the draft. Now that's everyone's key word. That's everyone's key words. Positional value. We've only been talking about that since we even hired Shane, because you don't take a safety that high, in my opinion. Because if you look at the positional value, I mean, you would want, if you're going to go anywhere in the top 10, in my opinion, you look at quarterbacks. You look at your left tackles. I mean, you also look at your defensive linemen. I would also, especially for the Giants, I'd be looking positional value in regards to linebackers, because we are going to need some swift linebackers. Devin Lloyd, I'm staring at you. I did a video. If you haven't watched, I did a video about Devin Lloyd. Oh my God. A couple weeks before we hired the Wink, I did a draft video, and it kind of breaks down now why a Devin Lloyd would be a perfect fit for the Giants. I'm still saying it. Malik Willis at 5, Devin Lloyd at 7, or maybe trade down 11 and 12 and still get Lloyd. You then turn around and you have your quarterback of the future, and you have your head of your defense. And I know it's a lot to put it on a rookie, but I think he can handle that. And then you team him with Ojulari, and you also sit there and you have Tay Crowder. Tay Crowder to me is a nice component, a nice role player, but he's too small to man the inside linebacker position in a 3-4 defense for an extended period of time. People will say, well, look at all the tackles he had, Tim. And I've said this before. Even on a bad team, someone has to make the tackles. Doesn't make you a good player. It just means even on a bad team, someone has to make the tackles. I've been in that situation. So at that point in time, and even if you bring someone back like Lorenzo Carter, maybe Carter Coughlin gets out of the doghouse, you may have something in regards to the linebacking core. And like I said, I still think Blake Martinez has got to go. I think we need to move on. I've been pontificating about the cap space now for I don't know how long. And I love it because some people are finally coming to the party. But we've been talking about the cap space for, I don't know, for an eon and a half. So you're going to have it's going to be a down year. If they win over 4 games, I would be happy. If you win 6 games, I would be ecstatic. But there's so many holes that we need to fill. And I keep trying to remind people, though you are looking at the cap savings, you are not looking at the dead cap number. And the problem is you need to evaluate the dead cap number as well, because you need to have a positional value on the positions you need to replace. So if you're saving $6 million, you are and then losing 12 in dead cap space, you need to find a player or 2 role players with that $6 million salary, knowing that you potentially could have had that player for $18 million, who at that point in time may have been better than the 2 players that you were going to sign for the $6 million. Kind of like the good example, Dalvin Tomlinson. He went for a little over 10 to Minnesota. We brought in 2 guys to replace him. We brought in Austin Johnson and Danny Shelton. I told everyone Danny Shelton was going to be a waste because if you looked at him statistically, he rushed the passer better than he had been playing the run the last 3 years, and his run percentage had dropped exponentially over 3 seasons. But you paid those 2 guys the same amount you could have had for Dalvin Tomlinson, and it didn't work. Sometimes it's okay to keep a higher price player, of course, if he stays injury-free, instead of getting 2 guys for the same price who may not even pan out. That's just my thought today. Also, we got the Knicks. We got the NBA trading deadline today, so we will have a Knicks video today. Knicks, to me, seem to be stuck in neutral. So we got to see what's going to happen. We'll talk about the Tibbs. We'll talk about the trades. We'll talk about Randall. We'll talk about the stupidity of keeping R.J. Barrett in the game with like 7 seconds left and having the kid roll his ankle. Tibbs does that a lot and has been doing that for years. We got the big stream, the big Super Bowl stream, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sunday. Have some special guests. We're going to have some fun. We're going to have maybe a giveaway. And again, this is Tim with the Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you could if you subscribe, if you ring the bell, I think you know what it means. That'd be awesome.